My hot take, Beckett will become PSA in an organizational sense, operationally speaking. And I think in a long-term play to remove tag from the game, I think they'll adopt AI grading to make operational costs lower, but also bully other people to gain a monopoly. And I suppose the biggest news of this week, and I'm sure you'll have seen it many, many times, is PSA's parent company, Collectors, have acquired Beckett. And this is huge in the collector space because I think it was SGC previously that Collectors also acquired. Quite confident in saying that it looks like PSA will kind of have about the 80% plus mark on, or the grading market right now. And I think that's a worrying number. I don't feel good that Beckett have gone. SGC was a bit of a understandable smaller company, whereas Beckett was is top three in my eyes. I know you got Tag in the mix there that was probably outperforming Beckett in other areas, but Beckett's like a legacy grading company. I don't know how it's going to affect black labels or the grading policies there. I know they've been having difficulty, but you've got to be worried because, I mean, if I was a black label collector, for example, what's going to happen to the prices there? Are they going to kind of downgrade what hits a black label because they take on a bit more PSA guidelines? Now, they have said Beckett will remain as an independent company still, operate as usual, but I can't imagine that will stay like that for too long. I think that's something they say when they go through an acquisition in order to reassure existing customers. But in terms of future work, you'd kind of look to merge them in some capacity, or at least get them organizationally aligned, because you couldn't have two of the same organization trying to take business away from each other. I don't think that's good for business in general. But whatever gives, I would say, PSA are the more successful in this area and currently performing more successfully. I think Beckett will ultimately go towards the way of PSA, but that really might affect black labels and above in a really negative way. It is going to be an interesting few months. I think this is going to be, something that will happen over the course of a year, maybe 2 years, but I do have a little hot take as well on how they're going to tackle tag. I think the way PSA and Beckett are going, and the general market in the rest of the world, it's not exclusive to grading, is they will not try and buy tag, but as a combined asset, push them out of the market by adopting AI grading. Because from a business perspective, it's going to be a lot less in terms of cost. Potentially when you get the machinery up to a certain speed per grade, per card, that could outperform what you see in a grading center and be more consistent with it. I don't think that that's going to happen anytime soon, but I think to get more of a monopoly by acquiring is going to be difficult. But I think to get more of a monopoly by running a company